extremely talented artist who's had like serious TikTok viral hits. He's also a really talented businessman who's really changed the game for the music industry in the UK. Now, first of all, I want to hear
Extremely
talented artist who's had, first of all, I want
like
to hear all about the music. So, Rudebone, tell us, how did you get into music?
Okay, I'll say from out of interest, I got interested in dancing. So I used to be a break dancer when I was in high school. I went to King's College, Lagos. Shout out to all the KC boys tuned in right now. Um, so I had this interest in dancing on stage, and at a point, I got in the space of dancing. One of my friends was picked to dance, and I just clinged on to him because I always miss the auditions. So, but I was self practicing dancing, and anytime I watch people dancing in socials, like in schools they have like event days, like social days. So I had my first time on stage, and I had that experience on stage performing like break dancing, but to an audience. And the next time when they needed somebody to step in for the school, they just knew that I've been on stage before, and when I just volunteered, they just like, okay, go on, because they know I'm dancing already. So we did some practice, came up with some ideas, and boom, I became like a big star in my school. And I used to represent my school in other schools, so I became a star, like touring, like going to other schools. Don't let my people see this. So we used to go to other school anyway. I was representing my school, dancing in other schools, their socials, and that's how I got into entertainment. The entertainment scene. Then I moved from Lagos because I'm Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria. I moved from Lagos to Abuja. My family moved, and after a year settling in Abuja, I met some friends. I met some guys, and they were all rappers. They used to rap, which was different from what the kind of people I hung out with when I was in Lagos. So these guys were just all about rapping, chilling and rapping, and I became friends with them. But I knew I could not rap. I probably must have given it a go to rap, but
Yeah.
it was not just my thing. So, but I just enjoyed. But they kind of enjoyed my vibe because I started, keeping my hair like dreadlocks. I started, giving them a bit of patois, Jamaican, Caribbean vibe. So I was just different.
Yeah.
Everybody was rapping, and I was just this guy that was all looking like like a dancehall guy, a reggae guy. So
Yeah.
it made me fit in well. Then,
So,
you
so,
know,
so would you say your main influences were reggae and dancehall then?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So in terms of my music, I'll say dancehall. So, at that point, because I was dancing, I transited from dancing like breakdance, and I got interested in dancing songs like dancehall, like Sean Paul. Then Sean Paul was big, Elephant Man. I started, learning those.
Love
You know,
Elephant Man.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So those guys were like my influence at that point. Then Nigerian music was coming up, not too big as it is right now, but then we had this influence, just like Burna Boy, Pato Rankin, similar set of Nigerian artists, Manan Spicy, we were all inspired by, dancehall artists or
Yeah.
reggae. So, but anyways, my own side, I was just in the dancing space. So I was always ready to dance, ready to entertain, but not ready to really sing. So these my friends, we went to the studio after like, writing songs. They were writing songs and writing raps, and they had a singer, and we all went to this big expensive studio. We put money together, went to the studio to record the song. The guy that was his name is Tudoke. He rapped, did his verse, and the girls Gloria and KB, amazing singers. They sang the chorus, sang their verses, and at the end of the song, it's like Rude Bone, do something, do like do something, and I did the outro. So the outro was just me speaking patois, like that's the first time I said the down no, it's a Rude Bone in the studio
It's a
with
road ball.
yeah, that was it. That was what I just did at the end of the song. So at the end of the song, I did the down no. It's a road bone alongside to the K, Gloria, BD. Just started naming the people in the studio. Set, the down no, chill, stream this, that kind of list. That was just what I did in the song, the outro, and they burnt it out, give us the CD, give us in tape because that was like this was 2003, you know, and we took that tape and that CD out to the street, and everybody that heard it. So me, obviously, when I'm driving in my car, people that hear the song. Once people hear that outro, they listen to the song to the end, and when they hear the outro, they want to repeat the song to that outro. So
Yeah.
that's when I knew I had a voice. Like I had a voice for to talk. That kind of voice. So it was just unique. So people enjoyed that beat. And in that studio that day, I met one popular artist. He was in the stage of his career where he had been popular with like a hit song before, and was in the stage of like was trying to make a comeback. So you kind of music life, you make it, you blow your money, you do stuff and you go down and you're trying to come back up again. So I met that guy, and that's when I started learning the ropes of music. So I went to him, was like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, I'm not really like, I'm not. Then I was not wearing the artist cap, but people just referred me as an artist because of my look. But I was like, I'm a dancer, and I mean, I'm trying to get into entertainment. I was 18. He was like 28, like 10 years older than me. So I was like, okay, let's roll. And I started rolling with him. He was taking his songs to the radio, taking his songs to the TV, trying to make new music, make new videos. So in the video he made, I was like choreographing, doing the choreography, dancing, and adding vibes to everything. So, but I started learning music business through him, and not even know the singing about music. So I was learning more of how to promote your music, how to
Yeah.
seek for sponsors, how to put on an event, and that's why my career path is different.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
say,
yeah. So I never spent that time in the studio making music. So at that point, I would have been learning how to sing, or learning how to rap, or learning production. But I was just learning the road. The road.
yeah,
That's what I was learning. So later on, obviously, at the stage, I was like, okay, let me try to go to the studio to do something myself. And I try to like do like a mixtape with a lot of dancehall beats, like Sean Paul's beats, different kind of instrumentals. I just try to do something which you know I knew to me, I just knew that it's not there, but I just had this interest. And at that point, my younger brother came back from school. He knew how to rap. He told me he was rapping with his group, and I just heard him rap. I was like, oh, come on, feature on the song. So I just learned that kind of making something. So I made a project. I just did a few vocals on the song, but he's done the rap and he's done like the hook, and I tried to do the hook. And boys, people, so when they hear my voice is just unique, so they just like to, people just, so I started developing, gaining fans, and that's how my music career kicked off. So, um, made those mixtape. It was not the best. Some people, the first time I played it to somebody, I was playing it in my house, and one of my friend came in and he started dancing, and it's like, oh, I was like, do you know who sang this song? Say, no, this must be one of these Jamaican songs. They're like, it's mine. Like, oh, for real, Some people like, oh, this song is not professional. It's not that bad. Like, I know it's not professional because somebody just made it in his bedroom.
yeah,
One of my friends just introduced me. Said, there's this guy just came back from UK. He wants to set up a studio. Come, let's go meet him. And he was like in his bedroom. Now he has one of the biggest studios in Abuja, but then he was just moving from the UK after his masters or after his uni, to set up his music stuff. So we just did some demo, and that's how we went. But as I said, I just took that piece of tape to go to perform, and when I perform the song, it's different. So you might
yeah,
not enjoy the song if you listen to it, but once I'm performing and you're watching me,
yeah.
yeah, I'm dancing, moving, and the dancers around me, you're just gonna enjoy it, and that's how my music kicked off.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you said something really interesting
Mhm.
there, and you said that you were learning the ropes of the music business.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, Rude Bone is a phenomenal businessman, and he's managed to create other avenues of making revenue within the music industry. Now, you've got a really interesting way of alternatively making music aside from music, haven't you? From releasing your own music. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so um, alternative way of making music. In what sense do you mean? Tell me.
In your music platform, that where you
Okay,
showcase artists, yeah.
okay, okay, yeah. So just as I said, yeah, I learned how to go for music. So when I started music, I thought that music was okay. Yes, because of my friends, they were all rappers. They had all this American, they had the American dream. So it was like you record your song, take your demo to this record label, record label signs you, gives you a big box, and you boom, you're a superstar.
Yeah.
I thought it was like that. So obviously, because I was learning the music ropes, so when I hung out with that guy, he was moving around. I started learning, the record labels that were in town at that time. So when I made up my demo, people started liking it. As I say, I actually went to one of the record label boss, like one record label, and took my demo. And he was like, he knew me because he see me around that guy that was popular, see my looks. And I gave him my CD, like my demo, And when I gave him my demo, the way he received it, my mind just told me that this guy would never ever listen to this tape.
Oh,
So that
yeah,
was like, oh, so I just knew that energy, like, obviously, I just knew that there was too many artists around him. There was like this
yeah,
guy would never ever. I don't think he listened to this song to listen to the first tape. Talk less more about listening to it and wanting to sign me or do anything, that kind of stuff. Especially when there was other people in his radar, other labels, other artists, that were even more talented in
yeah.
terms of singing, you know.
Mm.
So I just started learning to create my own platform, create my own opportunities, like So when I did
Create
my
your own
yeah,
opportunities. I love that.
yeah, because it's called a creative industry. So you have to create your opportunities. To be honest, you just can't wait for
Wow,
it. So
I love that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a creative industry, so you have
industry.
to create your
Your
opportunity.
budget. Yeah,
Yeah.
So everything you do in music, you just need to the way you create your music, you have to create the opportunities, create the shows, create the events, create the station, create everything you need to do, and just create your own stuff. And now the world right now is even not making it easy because of social media, internet technology. But then I started learning that ropes. I started creating stuff. So I've been, the first show I did, I just took like almost the blueprint of what that guy did, So that my music that was not the best, but from the music from the music I made, I started getting opportunities because it was me creating more opportunities. So like my first music video was done by a camera guy that was rolling with that guy, that big musician at that time. And this was me going for a show for an event, and I knew that I was the best dancer. Like I was the best dancer in my era, like in my set, in my school. Like, I knew that if I get on this stage, everybody's gonna be wow. Everybody's gonna be wow. You've seen me perform, but
Yeah.
imagine back then I used to do stuff like I would do like spinning wheels, do worms.
Oh
I
my
could do,
God.
yeah, I was very good. Let me
Yeah.
just say I was very good.
Yeah.
So I came prepared, and my dressing was all wicked. Like I came prepared for this show, and
Mm.
this show, I kept on saying that guy was there, but that guy was kind of the kind of person that won't help anybody. So if not, he would have taken me as a prodigy, but he didn't just help me. But he was in that show. He was one of the headline acts. He never like say, okay, give Rootbone a slot. No, he never said that. So the MC was just there calling, and they never gave me a slot to perform. I didn't perform. I felt so bad. In short, I was not even feeling bad for myself. I was feeling bad for my friends that came to back me up and dance with me and
Yeah.
come around. And backstage, I was backstage. I met other comedians, other musicians. They were backstage like, oh, Rude, when are you going? I'm just saying, I'm waiting for them to call me. But that was me
Oh,
trying to, get crash this show. Like they didn't really book me or pay me,
yeah.
but I just knew about like, okay, if I get there, just trying to, do that. And after the show, I didn't get to perform. And one of the cameras said, like, Ruben, what happened now? Like, man, they just told me to wait, wait, wait. I didn't get to perform. So I felt so bad. And the guy was like, do you have your song with you? So yeah, give it to the DJ, let him play it now. DJ now played the song. That's after the show, everybody had gone. DJ plays this song and he said, please perform this song on the stage. So everybody's gone, left the venue, and he told us to perform. I started performing on the stage and he was videoing. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
the hall was empty. The audience had gone, and the DJ plays the song, and my people, all of us, started performing this song, and that was my first piece of my music video. So I had this
Okay.
performance clip, which was valuable. So so opportunities. Every disappointment is an opportunity. So
The
that
mindset,
yeah,
how you view situations, it just makes such a difference, isn't it? And
yeah,
And this is why, like, I have like so much respect for you because so what Rubone has managed to do is he's managed to create this wonderful platform to
yeah.
show artists and give
Yes.
other people the helping hand that he
Mm-hmm.
never got up. I
Yeah,
love that.
exactly, exactly. So I experienced that point. But you see, I took that clip, and that clip made my first music video. People watched it, so people could watch me perform, which more people watched that video than the people that were in that venue. Because if I tell you where that video got to at that point, I took that video to literally to a TV station, and they started playing it on air. So so I just knew that opportunities create this opportunity yourself, you know, and that's how I just started organizing events. I made my first million when I was million naira, big money then, big money still now. When I was 19, so I organized my first show. I got my own people. I didn't wait for fans from nowhere. I got my own people to come attend, support. So I just knew that you can make money, make living from music by creating your own, not waiting to get on the big platform. So everybody might not know you on the radio, but you just did a show. People came, you made your money. You made
Yeah.
connection. You got fans. And later on along the line, as it's moving, I go on the radio. My song I became like a top on the top 10. You know, I
Mm.
got to meet a better producer that was big at that very big at that time, and it made my song sound better.
Yeah, of
So my
course.
music started developing. So that's why I got interest in creating a development platform. So when I've experienced my music, I've done shows, done tours. I moved over to the UK, and I've been supporting artists. When I was in Scotland, I was doing like an events and all that. But when I moved to UK, that's when I created the platform called the RBE Music Showcase, and
So the
that's my
platform is called the RBE
E Music
Music
Showcase. So the
Showcase.
the, the RB
RBE
RB
Music Sh
RBE stands for Real Business Entertainment. So
Real
Real Business
Business Entertainment
Entertainment, you
Showcase.
know, and used to um people used to think it was like always mistaken for Rude Bone Entertainment because it's Audi, but the first event I did, it was written there, like that was the shot. Was my brother that just did the banner, and on the banner you just told them, right, Rude Bone Entertainment, so it was Rude Bone Entertainment before. But when I moved to the UK, when I was registering the company, I was like, I don't want it to be about myself. I don't want
Yeah.
it to be about myself. I'm not a self-centered person. I want it to be for people, you know I'm gonna move to where there's lights. So I'm gonna. I needed it to be for people,
Yeah.
not just for me. You know.
Absolutely. And so
So
far,
that was how I created the platform.
yeah,
Um.
and how many artists have you had on your platform now? It must be in the thousands at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. So with the LB,
Thousands of artists on the RBE Entertainment.
okay. So the
Yeah,
LB Entertainment platform obviously is a platform where we just create this platform. We just create opportunities for people to perform on stage first, which is what I love. So it's also creating an opportunity for me to perform on stage as well because I love performing. So and also opportunity for people to bring their fans and make some money as well, and a big opportunity for people to network. Not even though not for every other person, but even for me. Like I met you through LBE.
yeah,
So I've met a lot of people through the platform. So it's not even just benefiting other people, it's also benefiting me. Like I'm networking as well. But at first it seems like it was just me doing it for everybody. Like I was not networking with people, but come to think of it, a lot of people I know right now are people that came through through Albi, but I was seeing it at the stage. I was seeing people connect and like, oh, these people met on Albi, these people met and they're like groups. I'm like, oh, what about me? And it's like I'm not
yeah,
making any, but
for
so
sure.
what I would say is like I was consistent with the platform. They've had on our data we have about over 1,000 artists,
Wow,
over
1,000.
1,000 artists because we used at the point we were doing like about 15 artists a show. And we're doing these shows like once, sometimes twice a month, every month consistently. And some shows we had 20 artists. So and obviously when you come in and you like you follow us on social media, you have your emails and all that, your numbers, your contact, and so we've had over 300 shows
Wow, 300 shows. That's a lot of
since
shows.
since
A lot of
2017.
artists. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. So
And
so so
recently you've
and
expanded.
obviously we have returning
Yeah,
artists. Like obviously it's
yeah,
not every show that we have the new artists, but we have
yeah,
returning artists. Yeah.
absolutely. But also recently you've kind of gone on tour with the concept. So now it's not just in London.
Yeah.
You've gone all over the UK. Were you up in Manchester, did I see?
Yes. So we were in Nottingham, um, Liverpool, and Manchester. That's what we did
It's amazing.
early March, and we have Leicester, and we're going back to Nottingham again. You know, they say when the music is nice, you play it twice. So Nottingham, we did Nottingham, and the venue, cool owner. They want us back there. People be sure. The guys and the guys that attend, they were like, man, they've not seen anything like this. They felt welcoming, just the way it is. So they want us to be back. So the plot is to tour to over 15 cities in the UK, yeah,
Amazing.
and establish good relationships with this venue so that every year we can have that on repeat. And remember, during the COVID time, RBE didn't even stop. So during the COVID time, we were having shows online. We had our awards that we do at the end of the year to reward artists on the platform and beyond. We had the event online as well.
That's
So
amazing.
yes, and after COVID time, I even moved out of the UK for like almost like a year, but it was still running. So the team was still
Yeah.
running the event. I was running it remotely. We had partnership with Bigo. We
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
sponsorship and partnership with Bigo. So the event needed to be streamed. So it was streaming live, and I would just sit down where I was in Europe or in
And
Nigeria. I'll be watching watching the show.
well,
So
it's like I say, you are a real testament to to creating avenues to make money because like you said, the music industry is not like it was, say,
yeah.
20 years ago, 30 years ago, where they're handing out deals. So you have to find
Mhm.
other avenues to make money, and there is a way to make money in music these days without getting a big record deal. But you have to be creative, you have to be disciplined. The level of discipline that you
Mhm.
brought and consistency that you've brought with doing
Mhm.
showcase the amount of work and the amount of skills you put into it. I have to say, you are one of the most inspiring businessmen I've ever met in my entire life. I'm so blessed to have met you.
Mhm.
Really,
Mhm.
really impressive. Now, obviously, you've got this amazing platform. If we have any artists out there who want to get on the showcase, please do go and follow the RB showcase. Sorry, what's the socials? Is it R Bent UK?
Yeah, so I'll be ENT UK. So I'll
RBN.
be
Okay.
ENT UK on all
Yep.
social media platforms on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And
So
we're very active on Instagram. That's where
yeah,
we are. Mhm. So
RBN
send a DM.
UK. So go and follow and get yourself
Send
involved.
a DM. Yeah, send a
Yeah,
DM.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, I want to go back to your music a little bit because, as
Mhm.
you said, you are an extremely talented performer and you actually had a viral hit. Actually, let's cue it up. Let's cue it
Yes.
up. Now, for those of you, you've probably seen this online. This hit, this track, which you know what track I'm talking about, went viral. It went absolutely viral. Over 1.5 million views. We had kids, we had grandmas, we had grandpas, people in China, India, everybody waving their bandanas up in the air. And
Yes.
your hit Bandana was amazing.
You
So
know, you know,
listen.
come to think of it, yeah. See, the first time I performed bandana ever was with you. You know,
Oh, amazing. Yeah,
that was on about was it Chingford Festival?
yeah.
I just came
Festival.
back from Nigeria after making that song,
Yeah,
and we had this event in Chingford Festival with the live band.
I
That was
remember it.
we did the rehearsal. That was the first time I was actually performing that song.
Yeah,
And a year after, so I had this. That's why I say you learn every day. I had a plan. Once you release a song, have a strategy.
yeah.
So
And
my strategy was like, let me get people's feedback. Like, let me just do the normal. So promote the song, run ads, run Facebook, share. And I had the goal, like, you know what? I want to get to 1 million views. I want to get to
yeah.
a million streams. I want to
Oh,
get to
you
this.
definitely blew that, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, and I was like, I'm not Davido. I'm not, Wizkid at the moment. I'm not Skepta or Stormzy. I'm Rude Bone. And at the moment, I don't have this fan base that if I drop a song today, it's going to reach to
Yeah,
500,000 people or 1 million people today. It might take me a year. It might take me 2 years. But I said, you know what, I'll focus on this song. So I focused on this song for good 1 year or 2 short, 3 years, short till now. I can promote if I want to. But I focused on the song for like 2 years. So after the first year, everybody that knew me knew the song.
yeah,
Everybody that was in my radar knew Bandana. So I started, spreading it wider. I was like, I won't stop here till I hit my targets. And I got stuck on a platform called Musically, which became TikTok. And I was seeing people like putting dance, doing that dance, and dancing to songs. And I started reaching out to some people on the platform, like, oh, can you dance to this song as well? And one girl kind of danced to the song, and she had followers, and people started, dancing to the song, kids and everything, in our own way. So I just like, wow, I kept on posting. And when TikTok now became bought the platform, I was like, let me not stop, let me keep posting. And one of the performance I did in RBE, one of the performance because I was, performing the song and it was, recorded with my phone, like vertical, and
yeah,
recorded that bit of the performance. And I posted 15 seconds of it on
yeah.
TikTok then. And the algorithm took it.
Oh, I
It
love it.
went,
I love it.
so,
No
so
one
it blew.
deserves it more than you because so like and the reason why I say that is because uh Rude Bones energy is absolutely insane. As you can see, just the level of the willpower to keep just pushing forward and creating these opportunities. But if you haven't seen this, I'm sure you have, or at least on TikTok, because it went absolutely TikTok crazy viral and you had all these people waving their bandanas in the air. Let's have let's have a little listen and we can do a little dance. Oh, I need something to wave. I need
Yeah,
something to
but
wave.
Even in the mix with your
I'm
favorite
gonna wave
DJ.
the phone. Yeah.
wave your phone, wave anything, your scarf, your earphone. Prata, 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 prata.
Prata, prata.
DJ concept on the beats. It's a Rude Bone. Same farm. Throw your bandana. Throw your bandana. Roll your bandana. Yeah. Roll your bandana. Roll your bandana. Roll your bandana. Roll your bandana. Your bandana. Your bandana. 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 Shaku, shaku, shaku. Shaku, shaku, shaku. This girl won't drive me sharp. This girl did feel me sharp. Laddie, check my dollars. Uh-huh. You want spend them for my naira.
Love it.
Right now, live and in the mix with your favorite DJ.
Oh, and this is the next one. Another one of yours. Fiesta.
Fiesta, fiesta. Yeah. DJ concept on the beats. In the mediums of my Insta. I'm feeling like a big star. Music, travel, no visa. That's why I'm money like a star. Girls on my media. One straight flight to the pizza.
This is the hottest radio station.
Do you have a DJ in the studio? I can feel the mix. The DJ
Hey,
is really mixing it.
of
Big up
course you
DJ.
do. Double.
Big up. Online. Depend opinion when people dey down. Nobody become one person for comment section. The same platform everybody get their own opinion. It could be a test that check in my Instagram. Waiting I see all my officials. For any comment section, if you lose that, name on the clear your
The beat is sick on this.
in the comment section. Yeah, that's DJ Concepts.
This
Uh
is the hottest radio station.
There you go.
Is Double Nine Radio, the best online radio station playing the best Afro beats.
yes.
27.
That means this Afrobeat they have to be on your playlist.
And
Oh,
worldwide.
absolutely.
To tell a friend. Double Nine Radio.
That goes without saying. You're already on our playlist. Don't worry. But
Don't worry,
yeah.
I'm gonna
So,
come.
so,
We're
so
gonna we're definitely gonna have the part two. I'll be in your. I will come to the studio live. Trust me.
absolutely. So are you only working with DJ Kunstep at the moment?
Yeah, in production, yeah,
Yeah.
people get to understand how you work, how you
Yeah.
sound,
You
and
vibe.
how you work. So DJ Concept, we go back way back, like in terms of songs he's produced for me, like hit songs just from recording and mixing. So not even the production of his production, like when I met Concept, he was not big on making beats, but he was, he could it's started mixing, recording your sound, and Concept is somebody that has always improved and always grown from what he was before.
Yeah.
And that's why we keep working and we tend to understand each other. So he understands my vocals, he knows my key, he knows that I'm not a singer. So he knows we just we just go on, we vibe together, and he puts his effort in the song as well. I'll tell you, for free, like Bandana, when we made Bandana, immediately after we made Bandana, I was like, man, this song, just listening to the studio, like this song, this is a hit. Oh. I'm like, yeah, let's do this one, let's make it a collaboration. That's like, two of
Yeah.
us, and they're like, yeah, like, okay, starts making contact. And 50-50, he pulls his string, I pull my string, and boom, we made a video immediately. Like 2 days after recording the song, we shot the video. So it's that kind of person. So our energy kind of bounce each other in terms of production. I've
Absolutely.
worked with other producers, worked with other people on songs, but nothing matches Concept, and it's very very affordable for me. Like I don't need to spend a fortune. Like Concept
Yeah.
has his setup, he has his studio and everything. We can literally work on the project. So is that I'm very comfortable with Concept, and the
Yeah.
songs will speak for itself. I have
I,
other songs I've done with other people. Concept is like my number one to go to. And
he's your number one. I can
yeah,
tell. We can
yeah,
tell.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now,
And the result is speaking for itself. Like
oh, absolutely. I
yeah,
mean, 1.5 million views. I mean, you can't complain. You can't complain. He's doing
yeah.
a great job. He's doing a great job. Now, listen, I want to ask you a few questions before we let you go, because obviously you're very, very busy and we really appreciate your time.
Mhm.
But one of the first questions is, what advice would you give to new artists coming into the industry?
Okay. First thing I'll advise is to
Apart from to go
enjoy.
on to the RB entertainment.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you're in UK, get in touch and come to the LBE showcase
Yeah.
at least.
What?
Because we've had people that just came on stage for the very first time. We've had people that felt disappointed. Maybe the show was packed, show was busy, and they didn't get to perform. But just as I told you my story, sometimes I tell them, see, you know what, you can always come next week or next month to perform again. If something happens bad in this show, doesn't mean it's gonna happen in the next show. So the
Exactly.
first thing, you have to have an open mind to know that this industry is ups and downs. It's not rosy.
Absolutely.
It's not rosy. And if things don't go well today, it doesn't mean it won't go well tomorrow. And also if things go well today, it can go very bad tomorrow. You know.
Exactly.
So it's unpredictable. So you enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. So it's a journey, it's not a marathon, you know.
I love that. Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey. So nobody's gonna be everybody cannot be Ed Sheeran, everybody cannot be Michael Jackson, but a lot of people can make good, enjoy or mind state, income, or just space of mind. Like for example, you are a musician yourself, you're in the music industry, but you're enjoying speaking on the radio, which is part of your stuff. So it doesn't take
Yeah.
away your music from you. So you
Oh,
could you
Yeah,
could branch out, like me, like I found my niche in terms of organizing and doing events. It's still part
yeah,
of my music. It's still my music, still. So
absolutely,
just enjoy the journey, know the pro, know, enjoy the process,
absolutely.
find out your strengths. If you're good in music and rapping, good talent instead of in terms of how you sing or you rap is not everything. So you need to have that interest.
I have to say, and like you said, how you enjoyed working with Kunstep is like, being a good person, and people wanting to work with you is going to get you a lot further than a lot of people would think. I meet, as you know, I meet so many young artists who have a hell of a lot of attitude, and I'm just like, poof. You're never gonna survive this marathon because, like you said,
Yes.
it's a journey, and you really have to enjoy the journey, and you want other people to enjoy your journey as well. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that. I really
Like
love that.
you know what? I just came back from Nigeria. Yeah, I was at went for my mom's. My mom had a birthday, 70th birthday. We went and we performed. My dad requested for our first song. The song I was talking to you that was a hit is out is Tapa Tapa. If you check it, Rude Bone Dance Tapa. That's my biggest hit. That was my song that got me my first $1 million. That was my
Wow.
song that was on the radio for top. So people so different faces. That was the bandana back in the days.
Yeah.
So that song was made 20 years ago.
Wow. Well, you're
And
giving away your age
yeah,
now.
yeah. I'm not a Gen Z. You get me? I'm an OG still. I'm an OG with the IG. Before the
OG with
IG
the
and with the
ID.
IG with the TikTok. So before
Yeah.
before TikTok became a big platform, do you know TikTok
Yeah.
endorsed me? TikTok actually endorsed me.
Oh, that's amazing.
They made my challenge official, which cost like about £10,000 to make your challenge official. That's after the success, after it went viral.
Yeah.
They now came to amplify it more. They were trying to get TikTok to Nigeria, to
Mhm.
Africa, to Kenya, and they
Yeah.
needed me because, but I could not even travel at that point because I was trying to, I submitted my documents for my residency and all that, so I couldn't travel
Yeah.
at that point. But they needed, so the endorsement didn't go all the way because I was based in UK. So they
Yeah.
wanted somebody that was in Nigeria or in Africa. But because of obviously my song is Afrobeat and my song went viral in UK, like the UK TikTok, not
Yeah.
even the Nigerian TikTok or Afro or African TikTok, because then they were in South Africa, they were trying to expand to Nigeria and other places.
Yeah.
So the endorse me is still there. If you go to the hashtag, you see that the challenge is official.
I love it.
So that was part of my stuff, and I do brand ambassador for different companies as well. So I was the brand ambassador for TikTok. A lot of people knew about TikTok through me. A
That's
lot.
insane. That's insane. Yeah.
That's a lot of people. In short, I know. I still get to my
You
friends to
you
this.
you
I
created
quit.
the opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I created my first TikTok account because of you. Same thing with Bigo. That's why when Bigo came knocking, I was so easy to fulfill what they wanted. Bigo wanted people to come on platforms which were creatives and to go live stream to add to the value of what they're doing. And I got that. And you said you're living weakness. You benefited from it. You know. So that was it. So you need to be ready. So as a new artist, be ready. Opportunities will come, but you need to create your own opportunities. Create your own
Absolutely.
move and try to work together. I see a lot of people being successful in the industry right now that they work together. People like, I would say, for example, like skit makers, people that make skits on Instagram and TikTok, they do all these comedy skits. Most
Mm.
of them, they are doing really, really good because I can see them working together.
Yeah. Together we
So
rise.
yeah,
Together
so
we rise.
and that's why with the networking is good. So that's why I always try to bring networking so that artists can work together. So for
I
example,
I always say
you
your network is your net worth.
Yeah,
Always.
so just imagine like when every time they watch your video or they on your page or your stuff, they see maybe Rude Bone, they see Rude Bone, they see some other artists. They go on that artist page, they see you, they see some other people. They go on this. So when like about five people are interchanging their what they call it, their creative process, even if it's music, they become stars. They
Yeah.
become stars to people. like, oh, I saw this person here, I saw this person there. The fact that the fact that you hear my music outside me playing it for you, like you go out and you hear my music, you're gonna think that my music is played everywhere. So if somebody sees you there and sees you here, they're gonna think it's everywhere. So that's how that's the psychology of the music as well, of the entertainment industry. You
Absolutely.
need to try to work together. Working together is good, but it's bad sometimes because there's some people that I should say that some people take the piece, like
Absolutely. But then I always think that's, like that's their karma. And, obviously, if you're a good person, people are going to want to work with you. They're going to want to give
again,
you.
yeah, yeah. So people gonna come back
Um, and
because
for
Mhm.
example, even how we met, what,
yeah,
10 years ago on the RB entertainment
no,
showcase,
yes,
and now I'm calling you up to do an interview,
yes,
because when you have good energy, people will remember, and they'll always
yes.
want to aid you on your journey. Now, just before you go, I really want to know, what have you got coming up music wise
Okay,
in
music
the
wise,
next couple of months?
I think in my head, I want to what they call it. I want to with my music. I want to release an album. So I'm just trying to I'm making making new songs, and some songs I already have recorded. So I'm just looking forward to I'm in the thought process. I need to put out a body of work. I've
Yeah,
been putting out singles, but I need to put out a body of work where people can listen and hear other part of me.
amazing.
Which I just recorded one new song as well. You know that's going to be in the album. I think I recorded like two in Nigeria when I went, and I have some already recorded. So that's where I am. But at the moment, Fiesta is my latest release, which was released in January. Is doing good. People are liking it. People are enjoying it. The funny thing
Yeah,
is that every DJ I give the song to, they played it easily. So it's
yeah,
a song that will move, because it's on my piano. That's what's
yeah.
trending right now, because music
Our
business as well.
piano is
You need to look at
huge
what's
right now. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I'm a piano, that's what the people want to hear. And I have to make commercial music to give people what they want to enjoy. That's why Instagram is still here today, because they saw that people were enjoying TikTok and they brought the reels to their platform. So in music as well, if you want to go commercial, you need to take it as a business and try to do things that people are going to enjoy. So
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely. Unless you're someone like, say, me, like Adele, who plays with the heartstrings, But yeah, like I say, like
you
I
know so
really cannot respect what you have done anymore. Honestly,
yeah, yeah.
such an
So
inspiring
so
man.
so the question I have, Fiesta music video was just done, and hopefully it will be ready, you know, next week. And I'll probably release it on the first week of May, because
First week of
right
May. Hey,
yeah, because right now is April, so I'm going to use April to build the momentum for the video, for the release, so that when the release is out, people gonna enjoy it. And I'm gonna make sure that I have enough budget to promote it,
yeah.
so that it can get to 1 million views and above, so that
Oh, for sure.
you get me, because the platforms are
Absolutely.
there. So obviously I do digital marketing, I do digital advertising, which is one of the skills I learned myself, which helps me, and I do for people as well. So I'm going
Amazing.
to make sure that I'm promoting this video that we've just done. The video is very interesting. It's very, very funny.
Well, we cannot wait to see this video here at Double Nine Radio. Now, Carl, before we let you go, honestly, so much respect for
I
your
don't want. I don't want
journey.
to go. I don't want to go.
Oh, we don't want you to go either. We don't want you to go
But
either.
time.
But
I
I
get you.
do want to let everybody know how they can find you. Where can we find you? Where can we listen to your music? Give us your socials, please.
Okay, so first things first. Once you put in Rudebone, Rudebone, on any platform, on YouTube, on Google, it will bring out my projects. Make sure that you type it one word, Rudebone together, Rudebone. It will bring out all my platforms when you put it on Google. But on individual platforms, I have slightly different names. On Instagram is at Rootbonegram. On
At Rude Bone
Yeah,
Graham on Instagram.
Rootbonegram on Instagram. On Facebook is Rootbone Music. But when you search Rude Bone, they're still gonna come up.
Yeah.
YouTube is Rude Bone, TikTok Rude Bone, and Twitter Rude Bone, Bigo Rude Bone, Clapper Rude Bone, NFT. If you deal on crypto, your NFT, go to any of the NFT platform, open see, type Rude Bone, it'll come out there. So Rude Bone is the name. So you can find Rude Bone on
Amazing.
any platform. And for RBE, same thing. Type in RBENT UK on any of the socials and you get it. It's a platform, and right now I'm expanding the team, I'm expanding the network. People like, obviously, if you're listening and you're watching this video and you want to get on double nine radio, hit them up and just tell them that from RBE. They will get you a
Hey,
slot, get your
there
music
you
out
go.
there or your
Go.
interview. Or Anusha, you see her, she's here. She doesn't bite. She's very
Ah,
welcome. She's the
sometimes I
pioneer.
do. Sometimes I
She's the
do.
she's the pioneer of RBE. Like, she's the pioneer of RBE. Like, the very first RBE showcase we had, she was the host. She performed. She sold the most tickets. She got a plaque. So
I
she's,
did. Oh my God,
yeah,
that was so long ago now.
yeah. That was so long. That was, but so your work is not going unnoticed. People say, I won't, I'm not the kind of person that like to flatter, but people like, who's that girl? Who's that Anusha? So good comments. Anytime you come around, anytime there's something done, people
Oh.
notice you, people like you, people really enjoy
Thank
you,
you. Thank you.
you
Well,
know?
I have to say, I always say that, meeting you and doing those showcases, it's like 10 years ago now. It's a long time ago, but
Mhm,
it really did save me because, it really brought me back
mhm,
into what I love to do. And
mhm,
like I say, it was the birth of Anusha Love. So I'm in
mhm.
gratitude to you forever for that. And thank you so much. And just before we let you go, Rubo, I want to say one thing. It's a
It's a
rude
rude one.
one. Thank you for
Bam,
coming.
bam, bam.
Lots of
Yes,
love and light, and what a pleasure to have you on
I
Double Nine
know.
Radio.
No
It's a
problems.
Rubone, guys.
Yes.
Go and check him out. Rubonogram, all the socials. It's a
Bam,
Rubone.
bam,
Thank
bam.
you.